Okay, so we've taken the back wheel out of the bike. I'll be covering, putting the back wheel in later on, which kind of covers taking it out as well. And then here's the wheel on the bench. And what we've done is we've removed the bolts that go straight the way through the hub. So they go all the way through from the chain wheel or sprocket all the way through and bolt onto the other side of the disc. And they were a total pain to get out, to say the least. Some of them were just corroded in and they didn't want to come out. But you undo them from the disc side, which has got the smaller locking nuts on. Bigger nuts are on the sprocket side. And then you knock them through, okay, and eventually they come out, and then the sprocket lifts off. This is the new sprocket, obviously. The other sprocket, the teeth were definitely hooked, which is a sign that it was worn. And we've got a new chain as well, so we'll be putting that on. So we've got a new chain and a new sprocket. So I'll put the camera on the tripod, and then we'll just go through putting the sprocket back on the wheel. Okay, so we've got the new sprocket, and it literally just slips on like that. There. And then we put in the I've lubricated these a bit. We put the bolts back in with the large, hopefully we put them back in, the large nuts with washers on underneath to this side, to the sprocket side. This is where things all start going pear-shaped, isn't it? While they're in, okay, and then we've got the 4 smaller nuts on the disc side. Alright, due to the proximity of the nuts to the disc, to the side, to the hub, I haven't got a socket that's thin enough. The wall isn't thin enough to go between the nut and the edge of the hub, so I'm having to use an open-ended spanner. The advantage of these being very tight is they're not turning. Mind you, I'm not sure I think they are fairly wedged. This end as well, yeah, they're up against the edge of the hub on that side, which helps to stop them from turning. But I can get them up really tight without having to lock the other end. That's the good side of it, but the bad side is that it was a pain to get them off, and a real pain to get them back in again, these 4 bolts. Okay, so there we've got the 4 bolts back in. Obviously just need to give that a wipe. I oiled it. Basically that's our new sprocket on. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, because those 4 bolts are in pretty damn tight. Okay, as part of taking the rear wheel off, I've had a look at the rear brake caliper, and it's obvious that the caliper is partially seized. There's a piston in either side of the caliper, and the piston on this side is working, and the piston on this side is seized. If you look at the brake shoes, brake pads, you can see there's virtually nothing left on this pad on the left. That's because that piston is working. The reason it's in at the moment is because I forced it back with a view to getting the disc back in before I realised what was happening. So that piston is coming out, but the piston on this side is clearly not coming out. It's not moving, and so it's only the caliper is literally only half as efficient as it should be, and that's why it's worn that brake pad away. So I'm going to have to take this. We're going to replace the brake cylinder, the brake caliper.